has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
He's brought down at the 42-yard line. A gain of 6 yards. And it's
from the gun on third down, Tannehill. He finds Humphreys. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
9 yards.
9 yards that time.
Titans first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Tannehill getting this complete to Smith. And look at this, big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
On the play.
You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To the air again, Tannehill. Well, we caught by Brown. Touchdown, Tennessee. A.J. Brown, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. And racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. And this is good. Our score, 7-0 Tennessee. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a Tennessee score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
First carry now for Alexander Madison. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Running from the shotgun with Madison. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line. A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 1.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison, and he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
Well, they just watched the other team take the ball downfield and score, so they knew that this drive, this opening drive, was on them. And, boy, that was important to pick up that first down there and keep this one going.
up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it with Madison. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Rudolph on the receiving end from Cousins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in them.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. Alexander Madison, 48 yards. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Well, earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a gain of
7 yards, the pickup there.
And 3 at the 31-yard line.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Anthony Harris on the tackle. A 5-yard gain on the play. 1st down.
Derrick Henry. The broken tackle, but couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the run.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring it down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans. Out of the gun, Tannehill. He's going deep and got his man complete. And he will have a Titans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. 7-7, our score after one.
The score tied 7-7.
On first down, it's Henry, and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
This is Henry. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Again, the ball carrier.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
It's a gain of 2 yards. And
From the gun, here's Tannehill. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
the score remains tied.
Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd.
They'll run with Madison. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
To the 48-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Too much that time as Cousins goes down.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Back deep, Adoree Jackson. Call it 38 yards on the punt, no return, and it'll be Titan football. A.J. Brown and the Titans getting the ball back here. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
They'll run on 1st down. Henry. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
They'll try the air now with Tannehill. Out to the right to Humphries. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 44-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Offense.
Taylor Lewan, the former first-rounder from Michigan, flag there. After the penalty, it's Henry. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. From the 50, it's Tannehill. And he'll get this underneath to Henry. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, here's Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 16 yards, a 1st down.
I love the durability of Kyle Rudolph. He hasn't missed a game for the Vikings since 2014. Always on the field, always contributing. They keep calling him a dependable target. He can be that and more. And remember, in the overtime win against New Orleans in the playoffs last year, who caught the game-winning touchdown? That guy right there, Kyle Rudolph.
Cousins throw complete to Thielen. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I don't care how you look at it, how you cut it, how you parse it. Adam Thielen continues to be an absolute marvel, coming from where he did, Division III football, to being one of the top receivers in the NFL. But it's going to be vital for the Vikings in 2020 to keep number 19 on the field, especially since he lost his old running mate Stephon Diggs to the Buffalo Bills. And a hamstring injury last year really held his numbers in check.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. After the sack on 1st down, Cousins, he's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this 1st half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he's going to have a first down here. They're also in the field goal range now at the 27-yard line.
First and 10. At their own.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Not much there, only a yard.
Second and 9 at the 28-yard line.
The final shot here before the break. Tannehill. Man up the left side is Brown. 20. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So instead of trailing into the lockers, they grab the lead with the clock reading all zeros before intermission.
I would love to go into the locker room with them because right now they're riding a nice wave, aren't they? They're feeling good about themselves. But I know the coach is going to be talking to them about calming down, taking it easy. We've got a whole second half, but use the way we finished the first one to start the second.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, and it's the Browns who have the lead late in the first half. Jarvis Landry, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In our game has been Ryan Tannehill, who's had the hot hand in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
2nd and 9.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins to Jefferson on the slant. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 43. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more yards yards that go around, a first down as well. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
To Adam Thielen.
Here's Madison. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are. Stay with who.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Tackled back at the 28.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Another try after the 1st down sack. Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 11.
Cousins. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13.
14. Vikings, 13.
So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
The Titans take over 1st and 10.
The time again to see what Ryan Tannehill and the Titans can do. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Now it's Tannehill off the bootleg. Oh, Smith. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
It's a gain of 6.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now a 1st down throw, Tannehill. He's got his tight end, Anthony Ferkser. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
7-yard line. A gain of 9.
Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
Nice carry there by Derrick Henry. Picks up a first down. And when you say workhorse, you're thinking about Derrick Henry. Won the rushing title in 2019 with 1,540 yards on the ground and 16 rushing touchdowns. Went to his first Pro Bowl and carried his team to the AFC Championship game.
Henry relishing the chance to be the Titans' lead dog. He's in the backfield again on 1st and 10. Now he'll try to run with this. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. That's complete to his tight end, Ferkser.
Tannehill's pass.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Vikings 13.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Tannehill. The open man is Smith. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
It's a gain of
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. From the red zone now, Tannehill. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Von Miller, he was the one getting in there, able to wreak his usual havoc.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Tannehill. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
He was covered by Jeff Gladney.
3rd and long, it's Tannehill. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Michael Pierce and all of his 340-pound glory gets the sack. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
A big spot now for Stephen Gostkowski. This will be from 49 yards out. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now.
13.
So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, it's a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
On a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not right now, joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Cousins now. complete. Jefferson the target. They had 2 straight first downs, now a gain of 9 to set up 2nd and 1.
Well, the evidence is once again presented why he was such a top target at LSU. And Justin Jefferson carrying that over to the NFL. He's what a lot of people call a natural pass catcher. What I love about him, his ability to play the ball in the air and at the moment of truth, go up and take it from a defensive back. This guy is smooth.
They're quickly to Thielen here. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 35. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down. They'll throw again. Cousins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
Good.
Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. They'll get this underneath to Madison. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Again, it's Cousins. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. They get the crucial turnover just huge, but now they've got the football deep in their own territory, and you got to be careful because if you give it right back, there goes your lead.
Have to be extremely happy with their defense. They received a gift. That takeaway, even though they're deep in their own territory, now they have the football. And you know there's always that alpha on defense, that grouchy guy. Forget what the coaches said. I'll guarantee you, he told the quarterback, we just took care of you. Now you take care of us.
Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. And here's Tannehill to keep it. And some room to maneuver. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. He's going to keep this again. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll try and choose some clock with Henry. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Tannehill now to throw. And it'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first.
Complete to Derrick Henry.
And they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The Titans go victory formation as they take a knee. Tannehill to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game. This one, a Tennessee Titan victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through, and they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Titans, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head home next week to take on the Pittsburgh.
Are you irresponsible without your money or not? Thought he had a plan, but we gon' foil his plot. Heard him sneaking in, so we just ran in the spot. And then we spin the block around just like the hell in the clock. Are you irresponsible without your money or not? Thought he had a plan, but we gon' foil his plot. Heard him sneaking in, so we just ran in the spot. And then we spin the block around just like the hands on the clock. Come like a bat of the hell, I dare you to cross like a reverend. And my energy paralyzed, I'm like I'm finger 11. Take a second, I'm finna send it like a parent a message. You the best, if it ain't me, then you need you a confession. You a mess, you ain't scary to me. Heard you was a leader, but that ain't apparent to me. Put dust on you, like cheetah, run up there, I'm there in the scene. I feel just like Vegeta Prince, and I'm an heir to the seat. I mean, for real. Touch the driver's sauce so I don't even grab the wheel. That's on my chest, but it don't mean the man is stealing. Man, I'm walking with some money, man, I mean a couple mil. Ew, think you need a meal. You ain't even eating while I'm feasting in the field. That's why I'm always cheesing, cause I feel like Uncle Phil. And always lose, think the freshman ain't half the man as well. Are you irresponsible without your money or not? Thought he had a plan, but we gon' foil his plot. Heard him sneaking in, so we just ran in the spot. And then we spin the block around just like the hands on the clock. Are you irresponsible without your money or not? Thought he had a plan, but we gon' foil his plot. Heard him sneaking in, so we just ran in the spot. And then we spin the block around just like the hands on the clock. Just like the hands on the clock, I go back to back when I'm doing numbers. All the mad that I'm driving the bus, so they threw me under. Heard they mad, they don't wanna bust, so they boo each other. Think that they're the winning team, go losing, then they choose another. And that's okay, cause I'm competing with me, not you. I live with blessings like I can't stop sneezing, not you. I hate to break about me and my self-talk too. I blow away the competition like a bowl of hot soup. And there's no catch. I go and get the bag and I'm not bringing it back. I'm like a down QB, I put the pain in the past. And if you ever had a problem, promise I didn't ask. So it's 4-4-4 in the car, my dash. I shake a big, told them all, you ain't first, you last. Little boy, that's facts. I'ma grow that cash to my money. You know what? Let me stop.
Party going up. A champ with the crown is here. I'ma win anywhere. Hey, so shake it like you don't care. I shake it up everywhere. And I can bake cakes by the pound. Blow the whistle cause I love that sound. And we can just keep going round. I'm ready for another round. Go ahead, touch down like that. 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 Hey, hey, go ahead, touch down like that. 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 Like
work the middle, 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 work the.
Pan a camera to the middle of the dance floor. I think there's something going down. Shorty backing goods like a transport, and I ain't never seen something so round. How round? Round like a planet in orbit, round like a b-ball. 23 Jordan, dunking on default. Automatic forces attract me to females. I look this gorgeous. How did you even come in existence? Hey, or did you just appear out in an instance? You got me all driven, revving my pistons. I wonder if she like the stick shift. Hey, count it 4 and make a wish. I wish that shorty keep it lit. Cause if I shoot my shot, I won't miss. No backboard, gotta sound a light switch. Go ahead, touch down like that. Go ahead. ahead, touchdown like that. Go ahead, touchdown like that. Go ahead, touchdown like that. Hey, hey, go ahead, touchdown like that. 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 Like
work the middle, 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 work the.
This is second nature, all is automatic. You fools hurt. Jesus will.
Won't you get down with me, down with me, down with me? Oh, you down with me, down with me, down with me. Won't you get down with me, down with me, down with me? Oh, you down with me, down with me? Hold on. I got a crowd wrapping around the whole town for me. Hey, mama proud, got a thou in the balcony. Nah, 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 I don't hear no clown talking foul on me. Won't shoot me down, send the cavalry. It been a while since I had time for me. Won't you get down with me, down with me, down with me? Hello. Nice small job with the polo. Like my style, don't ya? Nice like this, I wish I was with ya. On my turf, roll out the Henry Rux. She like when I hit the receiver. Friend hop in, this is a four-seater. Made a yank straight out the wood, I'm Derek Jeter. Major leaguer, no fatigue. We don't get no handout, we don't get no Macarinas. Never gon' throw your back out, tryna work, you need a breather. I need a break. Won't you get down with me, down with me, down with me? Oh, you down with me, down with me, down with me? Won't you get down with me, down with me, down with me? Oh, you down with me, down with me? Hold on.
talking to. Roll up that Sinatra, fly la mama to the moon. She asked me what's my life path. Told her 55 south to the cat. So many couches I cried. Shout out Zaza, Tree Tree, and shout classic. I know you really wanna be my only one, but I didn't need somebody to hold on to the sucker up, baby. I know you really wanna be my only one, but I didn't need somebody to hold on to the sucker up, baby. I know you really wanna be my only one, but I didn't need somebody to hold on to the sucker up, baby. I know you really wanna be my only one, but I didn't need somebody to hold on to the sucker up.
Automatic is a habit, you should know it's automated. I've been getting to it, I ain't noticed y'all was hating. Brand new chick, she don't know the occupation. I just wanna know that I can hold a conversation. Oof, I don't know what y'all debating. I've been waiting for you, now I'm running out of patience. Running up a check, trying to run an operation. Went broke in the check and put 100 out of savings in. I can tell now that you ain't talking about nothing. I'ma need something I can calm down from. I'm gonna pull it with the bar down one. 6 months in, I ain't down once. Trying to tell me what you know about me. You don't know nothing, keep it real with me. She said she ain't trying to deal with me. Okay, cool, you can sell that seat. I'm just hoping she don't fail. Cause when she do, I don't know what I'ma do. All that I heard that y'all was talking, it was comical. Pull up in your city for the evening, what you trying to do? Cause I'm open to it. I know that you missing, but you gon' get through it. I can help with it if you need that. Go and bring the beat back. I don't really listen to the feedback, nah. Told me that she good, she don't need jack, nah. I'm real proud of the steps you took just to get to the place that you at today. I couldn't tell you to you straight, I gotta estimate. I wonder if I ought to go here with the pastor say. Now go ahead, get me out of here, I couldn't last a day. I got the city talking about me like I passed away. Automatic is a habit, you should know it's automated. I've been getting to it, I ain't noticed y'all was hating. Brand new chick, she don't know the occupation. I just wanna know that I can hold a conversation. Oof, I don't know what y'all debating. I've been waiting for you, now I'm running out of patience. Running up a check, trying to run an operation. Went broke in the check and put 100 out of savings in. I can tell now that you ain't talking about nothing. I'ma need something I can calm down from. I'm gonna pull it with the bar down one. 6 months in, I ain't once. Trying to tell me what you know about me. You don't know nothing, keep it real with me. She said she ain't trying to deal with me. Okay, cool, you can sell that seat. Ooh, and she felt intrigued. Trying to the LMPD. Go and get yourself esteem. And she trying to link up. So much we got synced up.